Happy morning, students. This is your RVR sir. I am going to explain Unit 2, that is diffraction of light of your applied physics. So in the previous video lectures we have already discussed the interference and its applications, outcome, as well as the several various applications in our engineering we discussed by almost 15 videos. Now in this particular video I am going to discuss diffraction of light, Unit 2, of your applied physics. Before going to discuss what is diffraction of light, I would like to emphasize on the course outcome as well as applications of this particular unit, diffraction of light. If we consider the course outcome, Unit 2, hence I written it as 2, CO2, right? By the end of this chapter or unit, student can able to explain the diffraction of light by the help of either single slit or double slit or diffraction grating. That is the course outcome of the Unit 2. That is, student can able to explain the diffraction of light by the diffraction grating or single slit, double slit, whatever it may be. This is nothing but course outcome of the diffraction unit. Now, being a computer science and information technology engineer, or being an electronics and communication engineer, or being a electrical and electronics engineer, or being any engineering branch student, what are the use of studying this diffraction of light? That is my question. If you pose this question in your mind, then you can able to find a lot of applications in the engineering sector. Now, I would like to concentrate on the applications of diffraction of light for engineering student or for engineers. Simply we can say that there are a lot of applications. If we consider the first one, student can able to find out the wavelength of the given light source. For example, if you have given this light source, laser light source, okay, you can able to find the wavelength of this monochromatic light source. Or if I switch on this light source, you can able to find the what we call it as laser light on the board. So you can able to find the wavelength of this light source by the use of this particular diffraction of light. This is the first application. Now, this is a best example for monochromatic source of light, as we already discussed in the interference unit also, right? So the first application is you can able to find the or derive the or determine the wavelength of given monochromatic source of light. This is the first application. Not only monochromatic source of light, if you are given any type of polychromatic light source, example or tubular light or incandescent bulb, sunlight, whatever it may be, it consists of various wavelengths like 7 different colors, Vibgyor colors. You can able to find the determine the wavelength of each spectral line present in the white light or polychromatic light. Anyhow, we are going to determine it in our laboratory. And then student can able to determine the resolving power of diffraction grating. What is grating, what is resolving power, we will discuss in this particular unit. And then student can able to determine the resolving power of telescope. And one can able to determine the by the use of diffraction of light, able to determine the resolving power of microscope. These are all applications of the diffraction of light. Student or one can able to determine the resolving power of telescope. One can able to determine the resolving power of what we call it as spectrometer. Apart from this, student can able to determine the what we call it as study the diffraction of light at a slit or an aperture or at an obstacle. Or student can able to determine the study the diffraction of light single slit, at double slit, at unparallel slits. These are all some of the important applications of this particular diffraction of light. If you Google it, you can find lot of n number of applications of this particular diffraction of light. So we are having lot of applications, hence we need to study the what is the principle behind this particular diffraction of light. First of all, what do you mean by diffraction of light? So we have to concentrate on the definition of diffraction of light. Before going to discuss the definition of diffraction of light, I would like to describe a small example. Then you can easily understand what is diffraction of light. Now, from this source of light, this is a simple laser source. You can able to see. I switched on the light. Then you can able to observe the phenomena. What happens? The light is propagating in a straight line manner. Then at the board, the light gets stopped. Till the board, it is propagating in the straight line manner. Or, in other words, we can say that when the laser light is switched on, if I keep this book in the propagation of light, this book can able to stop the propagation of light. That means this book itself is acts as a obstacle for the propagation of light. And then, for example, if I made a small hole in the paper, then that hole, or through that particular hole, we call it as a slit. Yeah, I made a small hole in this paper. Right. Through this small hole, that hole can able to propagate the light. You can able to see the light on the board also. Right? Yes, you can able to see the light on the board. Okay, right? For example, if I remove this, you can able to see the light. Similarly, if I keep a paper, the light is stopped, and if I make a small pinhole, then the light can able to propagate through that particular pinhole. That means this slit or hole acts as a aperture. That is the meaning of aperture. And the paper itself is acts as a obstacle. So, in this particular small experiment, in this particular small description, we can clearly understand that when a light is falls on any obstacle or aperture, then the size of the obstacle and the aperture is equal to the wavelength of the wave undergoing diffraction. Then the light can able to bend around the corners of the obstacle or aperture and enters the geometrical shadow. In this particular example, you can able to see. Otherwise, I will explain the same aperture case with another small pinhole. For example, here you are having a small pinhole. If I keep this as a, then it is acts as an obstacle. If I keep this small pinhole, then through which the light can able to propagate and you can able to see the light on the board also. Right? Yeah. Intensity gets decreased. Right? This is how this small aperture can act as this slit or small hole can act as an aperture, and the light can able to bend around these corners of the small aperture and can able to bend and enters the geometrical shadow of the aperture. We can able to see the propagation of light through that particular small pinhole. Similarly in the case of paper hole also. So now coming to the definition of diffraction of light. When a light falls on an obstacle or an aperture, then what happens? The light bends around the corners of the obstacle or aperture and enters the geometrical shadow of the obstacle or aperture. This particular bending of light around the corners of the obstacle or aperture, we call it as diffraction, or simply we can say that diffraction of light. This diffraction of light can able to produce what we call it as diffraction fringes, which can have bright intensity and small dark intensity. Those fringes we call it as diffraction bands. You can able to perform this small experiment at your home also with a, yes, you can able to see the diffracted light on the board. This experiment can be able to explain with the help of diffraction grating. Anyhow, in our laboratory we are going to perform the diffraction grating. We can able to see the what we call it as diffracted light, and we can able to identify what we call it as bright fringe as well as dark fringe, bright band and a dark band. This is how one can able to identify the bending of light rays at the edges of obstacle or aperture, by means of which we can able to identify the bright fringe as well as dark fringe. This is nothing but diffraction of light or diffraction phenomena. And then we are having one more example. By that particular example, we can easily understand what is diffraction of light in our daily life. We are experiencing so many examples. For example, you can able to hear the sound generated in the neighboring room, but unable to see the light produced in the neighboring room. The reason for that one also, diffraction of light only. How the diffraction of light, or how the diffraction able to explain this particular simple daily experienced phenomena. That is, we can able to hear the sound generated in the neighboring room but unable to see the light produced in the neighboring room. The reason for that one is, yes, for example, if the sound is generated in the neighboring room, this room is having the ventilators, doors and windows. The sound can able to diffract near the doors, windows as well as the ventilators, and it can enter the geometrical area of the room, whereas the light can't diffract, because in order to diffract, the condition for diffraction is, you can able to see the condition for diffraction. This is very important. Condition for diffraction, the first one is wavelength of the wave which is undergoing diffraction, and the second one is size of the obstacle or aperture. Size of the aperture or obstacle, whatever it may be. Obstacle is nothing but slit, small pinhole. Aperture is nothing but small pinhole. Obstacle is a physical quantity which stops the propagation of light. That is called obstacle. Aperture is a small hole or a slit, whatever it may be. So the size can be described as d, and the wavelength can be represented as lambda. Then if you see the example, first case, the wavelength of the wave which is undergoing diffraction is less than the size of the obstacle, then diffraction phenomena, we are unable to observe the diffraction phenomena. And the second one is, the wavelength of the wave is much greater than the size of the obstacle or aperture. In such case also we are unable to observe the diffraction phenomena. And this is the condition very important. That is, wavelength of the wave is approximately or nearly or exactly equal to the size of the obstacle. Then we can able to see the diffraction phenomena. We can able to experience the diffraction phenomena. So in order to diffract, the wavelength of the wave undergoing diffraction must be or nearly or approximately equal to the size of the obstacle. Then only we can able to experience the diffraction. That is why we can able to hear the sound generated in the neighboring room, but unable to see the light produced in the neighboring room. What happens in this particular example? The wavelength of the light is very small, approximately 5000 angstroms. 1 angstrom, you are already familiar with the units. 1 angstrom is nothing but 10 power minus 10 meters. So, the wavelength of the light is of the order of 10 power minus 10 meters. Whereas the size of the aperture here in the room is nothing but doors and windows. The size of the doors and windows are approximately 2 meters or 1 meter. Then 1 meter is very much less than the 10 power, 1 meter is very much greater than the 10 power minus 10 meters. Hence the light can't diffract here. Whereas the sound waves wavelength is approximately equal to the doors, size of the doors and windows. Hence the sound waves can able to diffract and we can able to hear the sound generated in the neighboring room. This is the one of the best example where we experienced the diffraction of light daily in our regular life. So all of you note down this thing. I am repeating the definition of diffraction of light. All of you listen carefully. When a light falls on an obstacle or an aperture, then bending of light ray at the edges of the corners as well as corners of the obstacle or aperture and bends around the enters the geometrical shadow of that obstacle or aperture. This particular bending of light we call it as diffraction. This diffraction phenomena produces the diffraction fringes or bands. That is similar to the case of interference, bright fringe, bright band, dark band, like that. We are having diffraction fringes and diffraction bands. This is regarding the definition of diffraction, condition for diffraction of light and applications of diffraction in the real life as well as in our engineering sector also. So this much of applications you are having. So all of you note down. Here the important thing is the condition for diffraction is very important. So all of you note down it. We will discuss the classification of diffraction of light in the next class in detail. Thank you all. Note down it.